Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back into American Life Farming by Lanceyboy. Once again, we're going to be starting up a brand new spanking series here, and I'm going to need your guys' input. That's right, we're going to be doing a bit of a poll, and you're going to help me decide how we're going to play this series on this fantastic map. You guys are going to let me know what you guys want to see, so make sure you stick around to the end so we go through everything, and you guys can, well, give me what you think we should do. Now, of course, bear in mind, this is still a beta of this map. Things may change on this, so things you may see right now, they may not be here in the very near future, but this is what we have for now. So take that advice for what it's worth. We're going to dive into this, and you guys are going to get to tell me what to do. Oh boy, what am I getting myself into? Let's get to work. Pitter patter. All right, folks, welcome back to the shop here on American Life Farming. We've got it kind of set up right now with, well, just a bunch of equipment. Of course, you know what? Currently, the base equipment hasn't been set, so maybe have your say. What do you think you guys should start with? What should be the new farmer starting mode? What should you start with for equipment? Drop that down in the comments. You never know. Lancey may look at that and be like, hey, that's a great idea. But of course, we're not talking about mods with this kind of stuff. You've got to talk about base game equipment, which makes things a little bit more difficult. Believe me, I know. There are still quite a few options in here, but you know what? We're definitely a little bit limited when it comes to that. We'll talk a little bit more about this later, but guys, if you have any suggestions on what you want to see for base equipment, make sure you guys drop that in the comments below. You never know, like I said. Anyways, let's talk first about farms since, well, it's all great to talk about equipment, but it really depends the farm you start with, doesn't it? Let's start with that. So folks, I'm going to have 3 different farms with 3 somewhat different play styles that we're going to choose from here. And you're going to find, well, the poll is going to be down in the description below, so you can select which one you think. But make sure you wait till the end because, well, we've got to go through the list of, well, all 3 farms, of course. So let me go down with that poll, which one you think we should do. We're going to start, well, we're going to go by size. Number one, we're coming up on it, well, right ahead of us. This is going to be our smallish, well, it's the smallest farm. Yeah, the smallest. Let's pull on in. So like I said, this is going to be the smallest of the farms that we're going to be possibly taking over. Now this one here, like I said, the smallest, it's not going to have a lot of fields. We have not a lot of outbuildings. We do have a little bit of storage, but one thing to note with this farm, we've got no animals. We're going to start off with no animals. Not to say we won't go with animals, but we're going to be starting with 0 animals. We've got our small old farmhouse kind of on the one side down here, and then the rest of our outbuildings are all kind of like just scattered in within here. You can see we've got, well, the one main shop building up there, that other shop that was just an open air barn basically. And then out front, well, we've got our fuel area. And then inside, well, we've got our kind of mechanic area, which actually doesn't have anything in it currently. So there's quite a few things we're going to need to upgrade to if we go this way. There's not a lot going on right now with this. Nice looking shop buildings, mind you. But we're going to need to get going with building up this farm. This here is probably the most outdone building, of course. But nothing in here really for the most part. We're going to have to build this up as far as everything we're going to need. But like I said, no animals. We do have a silo, however, and just some outbuildings. As far as fields go, well, we've got mostly small fields. So it's going to be some small fields that kind of scatter around. I'm not going to take anything like that big field in behind us there, but mostly small fields that surround us. We do have some smaller stuff just in over here as well. So it's going to be all smaller stuff that dot the map. We're not going to have any kind of massive fields as such. We're going to start off with older, smaller equipment with this farm. So it'll be, think of 70s and 80s equipment. We'll start off with older, kind of dilapidated equipment almost, stuff that we're going to have to really work our way up with. No animals to worry about, but we're not going to have much farmlands either. So, take that into account. So this is going to be farm 1. It's going to be the small farm with older style equipment. No animals, mind you. Farm number 2 is going to be, well, just down the street, to be honest, guys. This is the hog farm, and that is our farm number 2. This is an interesting farm. You know what, to be honest, I find this farm to be a little bit on the cramped side. So we pull on in. You're going to see we got a bunch of red barns in here. We got our silo in the back there. But yeah, fairly cramped. Not a lot of storage space here, but a nice hog farm area right off the side here. You've got a big slurry pit back there as well. Guys, this is definitely not a big farm by any means, but it has room to grow at least. So once again, off the back, you're going to find, well, some buildings we can use, of course, but there is probably the bigger fields off the side here. So we're going to have some somewhat larger fields that kind of surround us here to help us grow our hogs. All the way around. We'll take most of the fields that kind of surround this. Our farmhouse is across the street there. Also with this one, we do have the option of going with the horse farm as well, right across. There's a horse farm that kind of goes right across the street. Oh, look at this. We even got a garden. That's kind of cool. Now, one thing I did misspeak about, actually, the silo systems, that is not part of the farm. The silos will not be used, unfortunately. However, This will be our silo system, which is kind of across the street, up along the side. We do have some more storage up in this neck of the woods, but this here is going to be our silo system on this side here. Those red buildings, not ours. This silo will be. We'll probably take some fields over on this side as well, some larger fields. So that's going to mean we're going to need to take some different equipment as well. Now, it's going to be a newer equipment, of course. Now, I don't think we're going to be going with anything massive still. We're going to be probably mid-range equipment, mid-size equipment. Think maybe upwards of 300 horsepower. I think around that range there as far as your tractors go. Mid-size combine as well. We're going to need stuff that's going to handle these larger fields, of course. Something a little bit more than that smaller farm. So, the hog farm, guys, this is going to be farm number 2. And, of course, you guys knew it. Farm number 3 is the largest farm of the bunch. That is, well, this large cattle operation we've got down here. So it's on the same side of the map as the rest of the farms. Everything's kind of located on the same kind of neck of the woods. But this here is, well, a lot bigger. This is the whole private driveway that comes into this farm. You can see all these fields here. These will be ours. But the big selling point on this one, of course, well, I mean, look at this silo system. That looks fantastic. But guys, the big selling feature, as I interrupt myself, is going to be the cattle barns. Yeah, this massive cattle area. All the way around here, we've got a lot of room for cows. It's going to be the big selling point for this one. So it'll be a milking operation. We'll focus on milking cattle. We've got a massive slurry pit here as well, kind of like the hog area as well. But look at this, looks good. Massive field to go around it. So we're going to be doing a lot more with some bigger equipment. Seriously, we're going to need some serious equipment for this. But of course, don't forget the baby cows. Don't forget our calves. We'll be doing calving, of course, as well. So this is going to be the biggest farm of them all, folks. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff we're going to have to go through here as far as equipment goes. But I think, like I said, we're going to have some big fields. We'll have some calves. We'll have some cattle. And we'll be using some bigger equipment. Now, nothing too crazy. Don't get me wrong. They're big fields, but they're not that big. So we'll still be only having maybe 1 or 2 large tractors. We'll still go with a big combine, of course. But stuff that we can get ready for calves and for the cattle, it's really going to be our focus on this particular farm. Man, look at the storage. So much room for activities. Oh, I love this. There's lots of stuff going on here. I do like this farm. This is great for a big farm for sure. All right, so let's go talk more about equipment other than, well, the farms. Make sure you guys go vote on which farm you think we should start. Number 1, number 2, number 3. So the following I'm not going to include in the poll, but I want you guys to drop comments down below on what you guys think starting equipment should be on this map. Now, there's a couple of other farms. I don't know what you guys think. If you were to start with new farmer mode, what do you think? What farm would be the best farm to start with new farmer mode? I have my personal opinion, but I'm going to let you guys decide. New farmer mode, what would you like to see as the farm that is started for new farmer mode? I have no idea which one's going to be selected right now. There might be some other ones even on the map that Lancey's got a chance to select, but let me know down below what you guys think. Now, as far as equipment, let's talk about that. Just remember, guys, you've got to start with base game equipment if you're going to be selecting equipment for this. Unfortunately, I know I like to use mods as well, but base game equipment, what would be your new farmer mode equipment you'd start with? I mean, now think, this is a North American farm, so chances are you're going to want to be going with, well, predominantly North American equipment, of course. That only makes sense. Now, me personally, I think I would do something a little bit different. Everything out here on this farm, instead of going with, I mean, John Deere is always something simple to start with. Of course, I think it always goes over well, but I think I would start something different personally. And these two have been screaming my name ever since we started here. I think a Massey JCB farm would be an interesting combo to go with on this map. Personally, I think having some mid-size Massey and maybe the small JCB, or even possibly if that cattle farm, going with the big JCB that we have over here, might be a really good fit. I don't know. Well, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. What would the base equipment be for you? I mean, there's a ton of different options. As far as combines go, I kind of wanted to go with a Russell Match, to be honest. Not really thematic, unfortunately. Probably a Massey. I think the Massey would be what I was going to go with any of the farms I go with. It's probably going to be the Massey, to be perfectly honest. And as far as base planters, the horse stuff always rings true. I mean, it's a little overkill on on the smaller farm especially, but this horse stuff always seems to ring true for me. There's a ton of options for fertilizer spreaders, of course, but the horse stuff always seems to work out well. If you could have a choice, I'd rather go with some of the DLC stuff from like the Cavernaland stuff, maybe. But the horse stuff does run pretty well as far as your planters go, and does fit well with the Masseys. Just saying, that might be a good fit, at least for me. That's what I'm thinking. What do you guys think down in the comments? What do you think for base equipment? Would you go John Deere? Would you go Case, New Holland? Or would you go something along what I'm thinking of? Something to change this up. This map has a bit of a different feel to it And I think going a little bit untraditional with maybe a Massey JCB might be a nice fit. But that's just what I think. So I know I'm asking a little bit of you guys today, but make sure you guys go down in the description and click on the poll. Which farm should I go with? Number 1, the small farm with pretty much zero old equipment. Nothing new. We're going to be starting with bare bones. Number 2, the hog farm with, well, a little bit of room for expansion and, well, some bigger fields. Or number 3, the large cattle operation with, of course, don't forget, the baby cows. And of course, drop down in the comments, guys, what you think the base equipment should be for new farmer mode as well. Help us out. Help a brother out. Let me know what you guys think about new equipment for this map. So other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Can't wait to hear your responses. Drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so you can keep up to tabs with us on everything we're going to be doing on this map. It's going to be a fun series. Can't wait to get into this. Can't wait to hear your guys' responses. So thank you guys. We'll talk to you guys next time. And once again, from American Life Farming, this is Clutch. Over and out.